Geez, I've been on hold for the past 20 minutes trying to fix up my phone bill. It looks like I'm not going to get through. There's 20 minutes I'm not going to get back. But sorry about that, folks. I think it's a great segue, though, to talk about a company that's really addressing these poor brand experiences. And it's important because right now, customer care is becoming the #1 differentiator for brands globally. Now, sorry, I'm just going to get this going forward here. There we go. Sorry. So, believe it or not, there are 270 billion phone calls made every year globally to 1-800 numbers. This is the brand's main point of contact for customer care or outreaching for customer marketing. Now, I think as many of you can appreciate, the outcome and experience from a lot of these calls is generally not that pleasant, as we've seen. Even more astounding is that for each one of these calls, a brand operating a call center and to answer one of these calls, it averages around $5.60 for each call. So when you think about that, globally, companies are spending $1.5 trillion on this service that typically results in a poor customer outcome. Even more astounding is when I finally get to this call center agent, I'm probably not going to be that happy because I've been on hold for so long. Now, that call center agent is going to cop it, and what we're seeing is a 40% attrition rate in call center operators globally. So there's an incredibly high training cost associated with this service as well. Now look around and look at what you're doing, look what your kids are doing. And right now, when you think about it, the main form of communication on your phone, it's not voice, it's texting. And I find it quite, I don't know if I call it funny, but I find it easier to text my kids to come down for dinner rather than trying to call out to them. And I'm sure everyone in this room can attest to that as well. So when you think about it, more than 90% of messaging on the phones currently is through messaging apps, such as Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. And we have around 5 billion people on these platforms globally. And there's anticipated to be another 470 million come online by 2021. Now, going to LivePerson. So LivePerson is listed in the US, and it actually provides the platform which connects your favorite brands with your favorite messaging app. It's simply matching our ingrained consumer behavior with business communication. You know, the interesting thing for LivePerson is around 20 years of conversational data experience inside its business today. And the thing is, what it does, it provides connections to all these platforms globally at scale. And that's incredibly hard for a business or a brand to do on a case-by-case basis. Now, the shift from call center voice over to texting is really just beginning now. And what we feel is LivePerson is at the cusp of this tremendous market opportunity, and it's been estimated at a valuation of the total addressable market of around $60 billion. It's a big addressable market, and all it is taking and arbitraging that $1.5 trillion of spend and arbitraging that into a better customer experience and a more seamless customer experience as well. Now, LivePerson's first customer was T-Mobile. This was a few years ago. T-Mobile was really concerned with the poor customer experience it was having as their customers were trying to get through their call center lines. Now, after a successful launch, it's really interesting. T-Mobile actually started launching advertising campaigns. They said, don't call us, just text us. And that was based on LivePerson's applications. Now, following this, LivePerson has signed several large telcos globally. They've signed Orange, BT, and even Telstra here in Australia. If you try on your WhatsApp app, you can text Telstra. I've tried it. It actually works. And what these telcos realize is that messaging is the #1 application that people are using today. And once you've made that initial point of contact, it's a persistent and very seamless way to communicate with your customer base. Now, the key driver for all this will be awareness. And like I pointed out with Telstra, with WhatsApp, you probably weren't aware you could do that. So that's a key driver for this business going forward. Now, one example I have is a European telco. They realized that a lot of their customer base were using WhatsApp and were heavy users of that application in Europe. So what they did, they decided to, they've launched LivePerson across their WhatsApp application. And one morning they sent a text out and said, look, you can contact us. You don't have to phone us anymore. You can actually text us through WhatsApp. And guess what? In one day, they had 10% of their call volume switch over to WhatsApp. It's incredible how awareness will drive usage. Now, it's not just telcos or that are using this. We have there's any business that wants to communicate better and have a better experience for their customer base. So they actually provide services of the world's 3 largest airlines, the world's largest restaurant chain, the largest travel agency business globally, the world's largest apparel group, Home Depot, Lowe's. It's quite a broad range of customers that they actually service. And the beauty of this model is that it's incredibly scalable. When you think of those applications that we have up there, there's 13 that they actually service, and they're actually paid by usage and the number of platforms. So let's say Delta, who is one of their customers, says, okay, I'm using Facebook Messenger. That's around $300,000 of annual recurring revenue. And they say, well, you know what? We need to put WhatsApp on as well to get better customer reach. What that does, it triples the average revenue. So what we see there is a very strong embedded revenue growth opportunity for the business. And it can actually, going from 1 application to 5 out of the 13 in total, it can actually grow their revenues about 18 times. So every quarter for the last several quarters, we're seeing 20% revenue growth. That's just from average revenue growing within the business themselves. So LivePerson has a market cap of $2.5 billion. 2.5, addressable market of $60 billion. On the last earnings call, management very confident of growing revenues in excess of 20% and accelerating over time. We believe that these will be done in incredibly high margins longer term, and there's no reason why the share price shouldn't follow that revenue growth trajectory. So thank you much for your time.